Russ talked about that. He remembered Allen Park and he remembered Municipal Stadium, and I think so do you. So what's your memories of all that?
Okay, yeah, my memories go way back. I'll give a little introduction to Old League Park. Was that what it was called in Celeron?
Yeah, well.
My dad, I was 5 years old, and I would have been 5 years old. And I remember vaguely my dad taking me to a game there, and we sat on the third base side. But I don't remember who Jamestown played or anything else about it. I just remember that the right field line went down towards the lake, towards the roller coaster, and the left field third base side went up towards Burtis Bay. But other than that, but then Jamestown, what happened there, Niagara Falls had the franchise to the Pony League, and they lost it, and Jamestown said, yeah, we'll take it, and they played in this stadium in Celeron, not too much seating or anything. And at the end of the season, they needed a better ballpark, and Niagara Falls took their team back. Got halfway through the season, and they were floundering again, and Jamestown said, yeah, we'll take it, and we'll build a new stadium in another year. So they got the team, and it was up at Allen Park, and they were had a bad record at the time, but they recovered when they got up to Jamestown and Allen Park, and they came back and made the playoffs. So they had a successful season, but they still needed something else for the next season, and they were planning on Municipal Stadium. They were planning. So Jamestown finished that year, and then they were able to start the next season in their new stadium, which had Jamestown had bought about 30 acres of land there where the stadium is now, and built the new stadium. So opening night, I don't know if we went opening night or not. I can't tell. Too many years ago. But I know we used to park up on Curtis Street, my dad, because he could get out of the ballpark quick up over the hill there. And we would walk down. There was a path from Curtis down to where the new stadium was, through the bushes and things. And there were people, it was a nice stadium. We were anxious to get there, and I was anxious to see it. And got in there, and the grandstand, I think on the back side is pretty much the same, somewhat the same. You'd have the stairs up. But on each side of the grandstand in New Municipal Stadium, the concession stands were on each end. And they went back a ways under the stands, and you would walk past them to get up into the main grandstand. And then there were bleachers down the right field line and left field line. And opening day, according to Across the Seams, they had over 4,000 fans. I don't know where they put them all. I don't think I was there that night, because I don't remember ever going to a regular game when they had that many fans. But it was all bare up beyond left field, and people would stand on the hillside there, a freebie, and watch the games. And I don't know what year it was when Jamestown put in the trees there that put an end to that. So the new stadium was very popular, and they had the scoreboard was in sort of a building like, but it wasn't electric. It was all hands. 2 or 3 guys are back there putting up the balls and strikes, and it was in the dead center field, much like out there just to the left of where it says 407 in that area. So it was a nice ballpark, and it's been well kept throughout the years, either by the city, the college, or the whoever's owned the team. Well, I put on my glasses here and to read a few things. To buy the land, it cost $3,000 for him to buy 30-some areas. I forgot to mention that. And what a wonderful structure it was. Programs back in early times were 5 cents. And then a few years later, they raised it to 10 cents. That's an interesting fact. And some of the players I remember, and a lot of them, it was sort of wartime for a lot of those. And there were some players that came here and married local girls. So they remained here in Jamestown. And I've got listed a few of those players from early times. 1940. Sal Magley. Now, he didn't remain in Jamestown. He went on to bigger and greater things. And in 45, he was with the Giants. And then we have John Newman, the Babe Ruth of the Pony League. He was started in 1940. That was Allen Park they were playing. And here in 41 and 42. And he set the home run record with 30 home runs in the Pony League, which lasted for quite a while, I think about 15 years. Then there was Frank Smirker in 1940. 41, the first year here. Frank was here at Allen Park and then at the new stadium. And Frank remained here in Jamestown, and I got to be quite good friends with Frank and later in life, and we used to reminisce about the ball club. Greg Malevy, 1941-42, a manager, and he got up to the majors for a while as coach. And Greg Malevy married locally and spent some time working at Bigelow's in the off season, which is, I remember going in there and seeing him in there, which is sort of a thrill for me. John O'Neill is another one that married local and stayed here. And in 1945, he came back and played another year, a good shortstop. Then there was 1941, that's the first, Earl Rapp. And he got all the way to the major leagues with Detroit. Another, Lyle Parkhurst. He stayed locally and refereed basketball and everything. And he pitched 1941 and then 44 and 45. He was with the Bisons for a while and then came back to Jamestown and pitched. We had, glance at my notes here to get the years straight, 1944, Joe Ginsberg. He was a catcher and he finally got up to Detroit in the war years. And finally, Nellie Fox, 1944. Played center field for Jamestown. And when he went to the major leagues, he became an all-star and Hall of Famer at second base with the Chicago White Sox. But I remember him in center field, good center fielder. And I must have been a better second baseman to get as far as he did. And finally, people have often asked, what's your favorite team? Because I've followed them all through years. And when Greg asked me a few years ago, I became an investor the first year of the Tarp Skunks. And my favorite all-star team was the one that was managed by Dan Carnavelli. He had been in the league at Bradford and ended up at Jamestown and managed championship teams in 1952 and 1953. And the 1953 team, it's got to be my all-time team. They set a record in the Pony League, 88 wins, 37 losses, won the league by 18 games. And you might wonder, they played that many. They started a couple years after, couple months couple of weeks after the major leagues and played on into September. And it was brutal back then, the last part of April and May. I remember Dad and I used to go down there and sit through some cold ones. But they've had some wonderful years, but that 1953 team. And I was in college back in the 50s. And at 54, I had a car at college. And 55, and I would actually jump in my car at Ithaca College and drive down to Corning, who had a good team, and catch it when Jamestown came into Corning to watch a ball game. And in 1945, Jamestown did get it in the playoffs, and who beat them out was Corning that year. But that 1953 team, no one could touch them. Wonderful baseball that summer.
Well, wonderful baseball all year, and this year will be the 85th anniversary. Hard to believe. And you and your buddy Russ were there at year one. Unbelievable.
Yeah, long time ago.